Rita.
英文 Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's LinkedIn Live session. I'm Rita Choi, founder of Asia HRM, and I'm delighted to have you with us. Our topic today is the impact of AI on sustainability. It's a conversation that sits at the heart of how organizations are transforming, not only through technology, but through responsible governance and long-term thinking. AI is already reshaping industries, from optimizing resources and reducing waste to improving climate modeling to enabling smarter, more sustainable operations. Many see AI as a powerful enabler for a cleaner future. But at the same time, AI itself consumes significant energy, water, and data infrastructure. As adoption accelerates, we must ask, are we creating a sustainable future with AI, or are we shifting the environmental burden elsewhere? To help us unpack this important question, we are honored to have Mabel Chan, co-founder of Carbon Linking Limited, a green edtech pioneer transforming SDGs education through AI and gamification. A computer scientist by training and winner of the Golden Bohemia Youth Startup Enterprise Award, Mabel has scaled climate literacy programs to over 6,000 students through strategic partnerships with Ocean Park Hong Kong and elite school networks like YCIS. A Hong Kong UNESCO Green Citizen Youth Ambassador, Mabel sits at the definitive intersection of tech, immersive experience design, and data-driven values education. Over the next 45 minutes, we'll explore both the opportunities and the challenges and what responsible, sustainable AI adoption should look like for leaders today. Thank you for joining us. Let's begin. Okay, so we will start with the Q&A session. And before we start, Mabel, would you like to say anything to us?
Yeah, thank you so much for the invitation, Rita, and then lovely to see everyone's here. So this is Mabel Chan from Carbon Linking. So yeah, I'm happy to share our view on AI on sustainability because it's definitely kind of a topic that we cannot miss because both sustainability is such a key element for all the business in the world because we are actually now in the intersection point where we actually have to include sustainability in every businesses because otherwise if the business don't transform or if the students don't actually have the sustainability mindset, we cannot go further because I think everyone in Hong Kong experienced that before as well with the black rain. Suddenly it said like every few hundred years, but all in a sudden we actually have fews within 1 year, and it just felt like extreme weather is so much closer to everyone here. So it's definitely a topic that we have to train ourselves to be more familiar with. And on the other side, on AI as well, AI is like no one can actually foresee that AI has been growing so massively over the past few years, and some things that we cannot imagine before turns out to be a reality today. Like previously, I guess when because OpenAI was the one that created all the AI boom at the beginning. When it first happened, no one will actually think about AI can be kind of like the automated like kind of like the open claw. People were saying that I'm building my own the little dragon at home, and then now people are talking about having deploying their own horse as well. So I guess these two topics of definitely something that everyone cannot miss. So I'm happy to share some of our views and what we have been seeing in the industry and also around us as well, and hope to inspire everyone to think in multiple angles. So, and then we can all discuss together to how to then shape a better world for the future as well.
Thank you, Mabel. I can't agree with you more that wherever there is a heavy downpour in Hong Kong and normal weather in Hong Kong,
Yeah.
sustainability, climate change, these kind of things will immediately come to my mind.
Yes.
So now AI is a big topic. Sustainability is an even bigger topic.
Mm.
Otherwise, we will not be sustainable, not to
Mhm.
mention in the company, but even in the planet, right? So today we are going to talk about these two big topics, and I'm
Mhm.
sure that we have a lot to take away from you. So for those who are viewing us, can you please say hello to us and let us know where you are from? And at the same time, just feel free to put any questions or comments in the comment box, and Mabel we try to get all the questions or even comments answered. Thank you so much. So let's start with our first question for Mabel.
Mhm.
Okay, let's bear with me for 1 minute. Okay, so here we go. The first one. AI is helping organizations optimize energy, reduce waste, and accelerate climate solutions. Yet, its own energy and water footprint is rising. So, how should leaders evaluate whether their AI adoption is truly net positive for the planet?
Yeah, so I guess on this topic, we because when we first talk about AI to our students or to like other people that we meet in events, um we think that like his AI is kind of like a brand new Ferrari. It's very beautiful, very attractive. It's a high performance machine that they can move very quickly. But at the same time, yeah, to your question as well, yeah, it's like kind of like using the metaphor is like a super machine that helping organization to optimize energy, reduce waste. For example, I'll just give some use case in different industry and saying how AI can help first. Then we can talk about how we can evaluate the cost of AI. First of all, but let's start with the industry that we are most familiar with. For example, youth education. So in terms of within the youth education, for us at Carbon Linking, we utilize AI as a really powerful tool to help us to create even more engaging activity and like experience for students, because we all know students love to play. But at the same time, teachers doesn't really have time. So actually, how can you help the schools or help the teacher to deliver more meaningful and useful context to the students, get their interests, get their engagement. But at the same time, how can we solve the problem that teachers don't have time to prepare themselves? So at the before AI, our company will be kind of helping the teacher to be kind of like a studio or with the programs to actually help them to facilitate this interactive game. For example, one of our flagship one is the SDG escape room. So people can be, in an escape room context to learn about SDG. Or it can be like a city hunt where it can be like a, like a Pokemon game that you go around your campus, go around Hong Kong to actually learn about sustainability topics. But at the same time, the student don't feel like they're learning, they more feel like they're playing. So this is something that we can offer to the teachers. But in terms of the when we utilize AI, when it become popular, then AI will be kind of our super engine to make everything to be more efficient. And you can imagine we can do the research, we can do the visual compiling, we can actually do the storytelling. There's so much stuff that we can use AI to power it. and it at the same time it can also help us to do more personalized analysis and also coach. So it's kind of like helping the kids not just reading dry climate textbooks, but it's more like an NPC, like a hands-on partner, for you to actually look at the real data with their own game quest. This is one side of how AI can help with the education side. And on the other side, for example, robotics, because we also, visit Unitree recently. So Unitree is one of the quite well-known and significant robotic company in China. So within help with the robotic training development, and also use AI to help them more accurately to predict how to make the action to be more efficient. So I guess this way, in terms of the robotics as well, with the use of AI, they can actually make their movement to be more accurate. At the same time, if we, for example, use the robotic in different areas, for example, farming, then the AI implication with the robots, they can actually look at the weather data better. They can do the sowing better. They can do the farming better, because they don't need another human to tell the robot, oh, this today weather is not as good, or this particular plant needs what particular technique to cover, because the AI training in terms of and with the implementation of robotic, they can do more smarter farming. So this is another case. And in terms of another area with lots of like supply chain, AI can also help sustainability, or corporation who wants to be more sustainable. They can actually look through the supply chain and look into the ways about how can I make the supply chain to be more optimized, to be more efficient. For example, it can be the delivery routes. It can be in terms of the use of suppliers. Can they actually find better suppliers that have less carbon emission in their operation, so that you can, instead of before we maybe just Google and then look through the whole list yourself, but now the AI can actually help you to do so much more research and to collect more real-time data from your partner, so that we can actually help to make the supply chain to be better. But like back to the question as well, let me can I also share the slides as well, Rita?
Yes, absolutely. Is that the same slide? The
Yes,
one
yes,
that
yes,
you,
yes,
okay,
yes.
sure.
Yeah. So so this is kind of what we talk about, that AI is kind of like a nice Ferrari, is a high performance machine that help us to do the speed. So the speed in terms of the speed of the operation. And then, but at the same time, this is kind of what we talk about in terms of the education side, the agriculture, and also supply chain. But at the same time, like you said, the water consumption is growing. The water footprint is also rising, because I'm not sure whether everyone is aware before, when we use AI. So AI is not just kind of sitting. It's on the cloud, in some extent, but not in kind of in our own imagination that is really on the cloud. Because when we use AI, we actually, from your computer to transit this signal to a data center, and the data center will then run the algorithm and then send back the result to you. So that will be kind of like a large data center that is involved in terms of this process. So to keep these AI machine running, then also the data center running, we need to have energy supply, because these are basically kind of like all the equipment to run this algorithm, right? So when we have this server data center, when energy involved, and for example, when we used to play game on your laptop, you will feel that it's getting more heater, when you play the game that is consuming more of your laptop power, and then that's why you need to cool it down. So when cool it down, you need to use the water to give it, cool down the data, because otherwise the data center will be overheating. And when overheating, your performance slow down, or in some server, it might have the limitation in the temperature range, so you cannot exceed certain amount. So this is something that we see it growing, because like for example in Ireland currently it's kind of the Europe premium tech hub, and then currently the data center will currently is consume 22% of the total electricity, but is now on track to predict that it will hit 32% by 2026. So meaning that few hundred data center buildings will actually double the usage every year, and it's actually a crazy amount. But we can also think in a way that sometimes when the country is doing the AI empowerment or AI data, they don't do it just in the country. They set up the hub in other country to make it more efficient from the operating cost point of view. So I guess this is something that we should be aware of from organization and management point of view, that when we use AI to improve the efficiency of our own operation, it's actually generating the relevant environmental costs that is both from energy and water consumption are part of it as well. So well, to your questions, to say that how we can actually make it net positive, I think is to a few ways, because one way I think it's not just saying that, oh my god, AI is actually taking so much energy and also water consumption, but I think first for the organization or for all the stakeholder, we actually need to evaluate what is the proportion of AI in terms of our own carbon footprint, because your operation alone might not actually have so much carbon footprint generating from AI. It might have other areas that is generating more carbon footprint. So each industry is very different as well. So it's kind of like hard to say now. But so I think first is like you have to have a clear idea of where your carbon emission actually is generating currently. Then afterwards, we then need to see within your operation, for AI, how much efficiency is helping you to improve, and at the same time, for the AI that you have chosen, how many energy is actually consuming, because the level of the AI implementation will also affect the calculation as well. Like for example, most of the company, for example, our company, we don't own a data center, we don't own our own data server, right? We kind of like using the cloud AI service, like as I guess this is the many, like majority, like 100%, the huge majority of all the company is doing. Then for us, we cannot really make our the server more efficient because we don't own it ourselves, because we are actually subscribing to other AI suppliers. So I guess in this point of view, if we want to make it more effective and more positive, then we actually first need to see how much are we actually generating it from the AI usage, from an overall picture point of view, not just looking at the AI itself. So this is kind of what we are thinking currently. Yeah.
See, I think it's more about cost and benefits, right? The cost would be the carbon footprint that AI is generating, and the benefits would be how effective and efficient we are by using AI, right?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
So I think as a business owner, we have to be cautious in doing this kind of evaluation in order to be sustainable.
Yes, and then I think for the business, they also need to think about where the AI is sitting at in terms of their whole operation. Is it kind of like a primary activity, like where the emission comes from, basically, in the overall point of view of the business? Then they need to then see when they use AI, which part of it is it at? If, for example, the AI is helping them to make it more efficient, so they use less waste of their resources, then they can make their team to be more efficient when doing their work, so they can actually deliver more business revenue as well in a shorter time. Then meaning actually the operation time and operation environmental costs will be, can be more compressed, because you're using shorter time to produce still the same amount, right? It's about the life cycle. So I guess this is something the management side should be aware of and have a clear picture first of the overall, then evaluate where AI sits, and within the AI sit, how can they make the AI usage to be more efficient that way.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, can't agree with you more. So let's move on to the next question. But before we move on to the next question, for those who are viewing us today, just feel free to put your questions or comments in the comment box. I'm sure that Mabel will be more than happy to answer them. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Okay. If I can remember correctly, it's more about data center. But actually, Mabel did mention that, right? As AI models scale, data center become major consumers of electricity and water. What governance mechanism should organizations put in place to ensure responsible AI structural growth? Earlier, Mabel mentioned about data center, right? It's getting more and more. So what will be the governance mechanism in place? Mabel, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Rita. So I think this question tie in nicely about where we end with the first question. So I think governance at first of the organization, there is few parts. One, everyone should be literate about AI is also contributing to sustainability matters. It's not something sit on the cloud and none of your business, because AI is actually consuming so much energy and water, like we just discussed, right? Then just to the first question, when we kind of wrap up, is that the like the management team, the governance side, should actually know the emission split between their operations. They need to do the auditing at the beginning and to actually lay out which actually part of the business is actually contributing to more of the carbon emissions, and within it, to look at the suppliers. Then for this question, if we're more looking into the AI infrastructure side, I think they also need to educate their employees, because the employees are the one that using daily as well. If AI is like a big part of the operation, then once they are more understand that AI is also linked with sustainability topics, then they can actively seek for the suppliers that is more efficient and also more environmental positive. So for example, based on our last assumption that majority of the people don't really own the data center themselves. They are subscribing to cloud service, right? So there are some, comparison of different cloud service currently as well. And actually, many of them will also disclose their carbon emission. They have like a carbon emission dashboard report for you to look at as well. So I guess in this side, the business and also the management team can actively seek for suppliers that at least have commitment to disclose these information, and also have commitment to make their energy consumption or energy usage to be more efficient and using more renewable energy. So these are, just kind of like a top line comparison in terms of the main, cloud service that we use, so we can know who are actually disclosing that information. Then I guess another tool that I haven't put it here is Canva. Canva is also managing their carbon footprint with their sustainability strategy. Canva, as kind of my context as well, they they have a goal to actually to be net zero by 2040, and they actively tracking. They wanted to step in to use more renewable energy and decarbonize on the supply chain as well. So I guess these are the information. Then the governance team should be actively looking for these partners for the AI infrastructure in terms of which of the partner or the within the same category because I guess at the end of the day, business is not just looking for sustainability, they are also looking for business efficiency, right? So I guess it's like within the same tier group and within the same efficient suppliers, and then who is disclosing these information and who are contributing to more of these sustainable strategy to make their operation to be more effective, then I guess this is a good way for the governance and also management team to ensure they have a responsible AI infrastructure. And I guess on the other side, if you are really building the data center, you have your, I don't know, data server, AI data server as well, then it's about how do you change the energy mix of your company. For example, can you, if you're running data center, you probably have large space, I assume. So is it something like solar power that you can install? If you don't have solar power for the location, can you choose it to be more efficient in terms of the temperature control for the building? Is it something that you can upgrade? This is something that I'm not too familiar with, but I imagine this will be the side if you actually owning these data center or server. This is something that they can also consider in doing. But for most company, I think the good strategy is first you need to be more literate about AI is not just sitting on the air. It has environmental costs. And then you need to spread this message to your all the team, to all the employees. So all the employees are also aware. Then you need to look across of your company operation in terms of your supplier, and then ask your team to have a look to see within the same set of efficient and cost effective supplier, who are the one that actually have the more sustainability commitment, and can we actually choose one that allows you to compile with more of the sustainability goals as well. And if you are at the end, if you're really running data center, I think it's more talking about to how to make the architecture and energy mix to be more efficient that way.
Thank you, Mabel. Yeah, I agree that education is the key, right? We need to be literate, not just the owner of the company, but also the employees about the relationship of AI and sustainability. They need to know that the impact of use of AI to the environment.
Yeah,
and also tip for suppliers who are sort of ESG compliance, meaning that they also focus on ESG, so that we work as a team to protect the environment and make the company and the environment and even the planet more sustainable. Very nice. Thank you, Mabel. So let's see. Okay, we have a question from the viewers today. What are the main ways AI is currently helping to advance sustainability goals? What are the main ways AI is currently helping to advance sustainability goals?
Yeah, that's a good question. And then thank you for that. I think this really depends on the industry people are operating in, because I think different industry will use different AI to actually optimize their sustainability goals. But I think kind of referring to the few of the areas that I mentioned at the beginning, I would say that within education side, we helping if we use AI to make the learning to be more personalized, more fun, but at the same time, we're actually using less resources that way as well. Because before, for example, if you use the teacher marking, you will have lots of paper, right? You lots of resources printing out, or the teacher needs to go through different version to actually get to the end of the programs that they want to deliver to the student. Then this will be, the operation side that we are saving the resources, because we can use AI to help us to run the scenario. We can have a review first, and then save the student time and also save the teacher time. Then at the other side, it's kind of like farming, right? Because if we're using AI with robotic in terms of the agriculture section, then we can actually be more effective in terms of our planting. Then with the planting, then we can save more water and more efficient allocation. Then in this way, we are saving the resources and also making the process to be more efficient. Then I guess in terms of other sustainability goals can be just a generic supply chain of different operations, where we can use the AI to help us to look through in terms of our supply chain, no matter is it the suppliers or the routes, for example, shipping routes, transportation routes. Is there any routing that we can make the operation, like kind of the logistic, to be more efficient? Then this way we can actually save the energy use in the operation, and at the same time we can actually making the process to be more efficient, because we can arrive at the destination quicker by using this AI to help us to optimize the operation point of view. So yeah, hope that answered, because there's too many industry, but this is just a few examples that I think we are helping us to advance the sustainability goals. Like for example, we be SDG 4 for quality education, for the education side that I mentioned just now, and for the other parts is kind of like more sustainable community and cities as well. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much, Mabel. I'm sure that AI has helped a lot of industries to achieve the efficiency and effectiveness in their operations, not just education, farming, or even on the supply side. Thank you so much. So let's carry on with our question today. Okay. Let's see. This is the okay. Most companies talk about AI for sustainability, but few disclose the environmental cost. What level of transparency should stakeholders expect, and who should be accountable for reporting its impacts?
Yeah. Thank you for the question, Rita. I guess on this side, it's kind of again as on the literacy side level of different stakeholder, because I think really depends on the business operation and the industry that the company is looking at, because AI carbon footprint may be kind of like a small part in terms of the overall company operation carbon footprint side. So they then needs to actually look into the whole company point of view, and actually if AI is not contributing that many carbon emission from most of the company, then the company and the stakeholder should actually focus on more emission operation that is contributing more of the carbon footprint. But I guess if the governance and also the management team and also the operation team are more literate, they will also start disclosing more of the AI environmental costs, and this way, then the other stakeholder, for example, customer consumer side, we can then choose to use more green partners in terms of our choice, and the company can use more green AI infrastructure or partners that have more of the sustainability vision as well. Then we can push the market together to embrace and develop more of these greener infrastructure for AI as well. But I guess this is quite chicken and the egg problem. That's whether the company at the beginning, actually their carbon footprint isn't more like, huge amount on the AI side, or actually huge amount on the primary operation, which should be mostly the case for most of the company. Then in this way, then we should be more focusing in reducing our carbon footprint on that side, because and then they can see how much AI efficiency has helped them to reduce these operation costs and also the resources used there, so they can minimize the carbon footprint over that side. Then AI is an area that we need to actively monitoring and exploring, and look for more innovative and yes, solutions that I've.
Hi, Mabel. You there?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay. So the line was just was breaking. Are you done with your answer for this question?
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Then, in governance, right, we all talk about accountability. Then who should be accountable for reporting the impact?
Oh, so for reporting, I guess first of all, reporting the impact first should be, from the supply of the main, AI operation, those company who actually provide the service. For example, the list of the companies that we look at just now, because they are the main, cloud or the server suppliers that is helping so many different AI tooling to to develop their products, right? So these companies should be, first to actually disclose this kind of impact, and we should, push them more, because when I look at it just now, I think AWS actually start reporting their emission from 2022. So the more that the customer are looking for and asking our suppliers, then we can help all the industry to disclose this information as quickly as possible as well.
Okay, got you. Okay, so we'll start with the suppliers, right? For
Yes.
measuring this kind of impact.
Yeah, because they are the one that are operating all of these data centers, data servers, and if they are not disclosing, other people, for example, the AI company who set up the infrastructure with the platform, they cannot actually estimate how much emission they are using as well, because they are using the capabilities from other people. But at the same time, if the company are developing, deploying server, like, some local server in their company, then this is something that they can monitor and have a look as well. But the government policy should, because this is becoming more massive growing, then I think should be more regulation coming up to say that how much people should be disclosing. But I think currently everyone should be looking at the big suppliers at the moment, because they are the one that generating the most, because they are the one that everyone is using. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so here comes the that's the another question, but it's very close to the end of the session. Okay, so if AI continues to advance at its current pace, what trade-offs will organizations need to confront? And how can they innovate without exceeding environmental boundaries?
Yeah. So I guess in terms of the trade-off, it again really depends on the company operation, because although AI in a grand scheme of things is using more energy and more water, but at the same time is sharing across so many industry as well, and the company operation might have carbon emission that they are generating more. So this is actually really depends on the company operation and the percentage of these AI footprint is as well. But again, I think at the same time, we should be, looking at the innovation and also innovative strategy that different people are doing to help to make the AI infrastructure to be more environmental efficient. So, for example, this is actually the first commercial wind power underwater data center just off the coast of China, Shanghai in China. So this is actually the first commercial wind power device in this world. So it is actually tackling the consequences that we talked just now. That's because normally the data center needs to use lots of water to cool it down. They also needs to use the energy. So in this way, they can use the wind power to create the energy. And at the same time, they don't need to use the fresh water to cool it down. They use the natural resources, which is in the open sea, to cool it down. So it's kind of, innovative solutions that trying to solve this problem. But we could argue that by putting under the sea is also generating, the heat in the sea level as well, which is very true. So I guess this is something that we need to, keep observing as well, and then to see the pros and cons of all of the innovative infrastructure and also solutions that different companies come up. So I guess this is one of the example, but I think my point is that when AI becomes so mainstream and something that our whole world is developing with, we will see much more companies and also government to trying to push more innovative approach to help it to minimize the environmental costs. But this is something that we need to force and also need to select ourselves, because if we actually don't choose the partner that with more greener operation, then the business won't evolve as well. The government won't listen as well, right? So we actually need to actively seeking for these company. Then at the same time, we then need to embrace the innovation and all the innovative strategy that helping us to have kind of like a more sustainable AI deployment for our future as well. So this is one example. But another area that I think is the more, AI hardware that is more energy efficient. Because when the AI hardware is more energy efficient as well, then meaning that is actually using less energy than, traditional hardware. Then in this way, we're also helping to save the energy because it's consuming less. But you can ask, okay, then from a consumer side, then how should I, adapt as well? Then for us, when we choose the device in terms of our company, we can choose the device that is more efficient for their hardware operation, because we are also choosing this product ourselves and also subscribing for the company usage, right? Then we can actively source these more energy efficient equipment, just like how we're educating our kids. When you choose, home appliance as well, remember to, to check the label and then choose the one that is more, green, like more efficient in terms of the energy. And then at the same time, and I think last things that we actually can do from a personal and also company side is about the efficiency of using AI. Because majority of the company will be like, using Gemini, GPT, or, Claude to use to have your own write your own prompt and set up your own gem, set up your own skills, set up your own open Claude to fulfill your particular business needs, right? Then for outside, what we can do is make sure the AI prompt or the AI infrastructure that we set up is at the most efficient as possible. Then in this way, we are not using so much of the AI power to come back with the same outputs that we wanted to see. And at the same time, from a company point of view, it also helps you to save money as well. Because if you can use AI more efficiently, you're using less token. So to one token is, is money equivalent, right? Then you're also helping to save the money for your company as well. Then in this way, we can then operating from our team perspective to be more efficient in terms of the consumption and also money saving for your business. So these are some of the AI prompting or AI engineering training that businesses can do. Like for example, before we also help like other youth NGO to actually train them how their staff to how to use the AI prompt more efficiently as well. So because everyone can use AI, but how many AI rounds you need to do in order to actually reach the good output? This is a technique that people should learn and should train so we can use it more efficiently for the company perspective.
Thank you, Mabel. Actually, just a curiosity, we have a lot of AI, right? ChatGPT, Gemini, and so on and so on, right, in the market. Which one would you prefer? Which can give us the most effectiveness and efficiency? Would you recommend? Not advertising time, but I just say it's a matter of interest.
Yes. So I've like for us when we actually tell other people as well, we also we actually say that each of them is more specialized in something. So it really depends on the task you're actually doing, and the complexity of the task, the objective of your task. Then when your task is different, the corresponding AI can be different as well. So I think really is kind of like task specific. But in terms of traditionally, right, like the company is is not just looking for efficiency. If they actually really depends on the company objective. If the company suddenly say, oh, I want something that is less hustle, is more easy to implement, then normally Gemini currently is more kind of like a well-rounded because it can cover many aspects of the company needs. Most of the time it can solve as well. So it really depends because task specific will have different AI tool and it, but then as a company or management, you should actually know like from like what you need, then look into what tools will be more suitable and more efficient for your operation objective. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. So one thing for sure is that efficient use of AI really helps you to improve your productivity, at the same time also save the environment,
Yes.
and also reduce environmental cost. Okay, so we have come to the end of the session. Mabel, thank you so much for the insightful session. Can you give us a closing remark?
I think the closing remark is that for AI definitely has impact in terms of sustainability for the environmental cost. We all know how much AI is helping the company to develop or the efficiency of it, but we cannot ignore the environmental costs. And there's some extent that we can control and there's some extent that we can't control. Then for the stuff that we can't control, then it's about our active choice to actually pushing the market to develop some more environmental friendly product for our usage, and also pushing them to disclose more information so that we can develop more a sustainable community within the AI infrastructure. And at the same time, we should actually support those innovative solutions in the market as well, so that we can see more innovation to help us to overcome the environmental costs that we are seeing with the AI adaptation. Because AI is something that people are saying you is like it's like kind of like a no way back currently. So it's something that we need to monitor and also needs to carefully evaluate, and then needs to think about in what ways we can also contributing to limit the environmental costs from our operation side, because in terms of sustainable future, the business also need to live on as well. So it's also about how to we drive the business value, but at the same time we can keep the environmental cost in mind, so we can push it to our stakeholder as well, so everyone knows the good things that we are doing and create more like a positive environment around us as well.
Thank you, Mabel. I think one of the pushes that we can use is to use more green suppliers, right? So that they can develop more green solutions, which help us to protect the environment. Okay, so thank you, Mabel, again for your thoughtful insights, and thank you to everyone who joined us today. What we have heard is clear. AI can be a very powerful driver of sustainability, but only if we understand and manage its environmental footprint. The real impact of AI depends on how organizations govern it and how transparent they are about its resources use, and how intentionally they design their sustainability strategies. So this is not just a technology conversation, it's a leadership conversation, it's a governance conversation, it's the responsibility we all share. I hope today's discussion inspires you to look deeper into how AI is being used in your organization, not only for efficiency and innovation, but also for long-term environmental stewardship. Thank you again for being here. I'm Rita Choi from ACHRM, and we look forward to seeing you at our next LinkedIn Live session, which is next Wednesday. Okay, so thanks, Mabel, again.
Thank
So
you, Rita.
that's the end of our session, and have a very good day, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, have a